It does look a little bit grey today. I'm not too sure whether it's smoggy or perhaps it's just about to rain. I took an e-hailing car to the edge of Mutton Cherry to this place which is known as Jewtown. My plan here is just to have a little walkabout for a couple of hours, maybe find a place for a coffee and a little bit of a bite, and then head back to Fort Kochi. Hey you, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to show you a little bit of the Jewtown. Well, the Jewish community is said to have first set foot in India, especially here in Kochi, way back in the year 68 AD, and in the peak in the 1950s, it was said that there were approximately 5,000 Jewish people here in Kochi, and now sadly it has dwindled down to a mere single digit. For a long while, Kochi has been known as a crossroad of diversity, culture and trade, and the Jewish community here in the Jewtown in Kochi had built many mansions and buildings which you can still see traces of today. Although due to the fact that many of the prominent Jewish families have moved away from India many years ago, these buildings are now converted into offices and heritage hotels. Let's make a stop for a thirst quencher, and I've spotted this little place here. It's called the Classic Art Cafe. It does have a very inviting look on the exterior, doesn't it? If you're a lover of the old architecture style, you will be definitely bowled over by the buildings you see here in Jewtown. Here I am in the Classic Art Cafe, and I've chosen a ginger lemonade to keep me company while I do a spot of people watching in this particular corner. Okay, then I felt a spot of light drizzle and I have to move indoors, which is not a bad idea really. This ginger lemonade is yum. Oh, wait a minute. I think I can leave my stuff here on the table while I check out the interior of the Classic Art Cafe. There's one downside to traveling on your own. You don't have another person to rely on to keep an eye on your personal belongings. That's a very comfy nook in the corner of the Classic Art Cafe for a spot of reading. Here in the cafe, you're surrounded by beautiful paintings and artworks by local artists, and also interesting objects of art like these ones here. I adore this pair of wood and brass tea light stand, and the fish, maybe not so much. This cafe is a visual delight as you spend a lazy afternoon whiling your time away in Jewtown in Mutton Cherry. Looking at the paintings on the walls in this cafe, it's so tempting, and thank goodness I've turned over a new leaf. In my previous reincarnation, I was such a hoarder. I used to buy a piece of artwork from every city I've been to. But since I've downsized to a much smaller apartment, actually half the size of the one I used to live in, well, I have to turn over a new leaf. The temptation is there, but I have to stop myself from buying more paintings or even masks like these ones. Once upon a time in my previous apartment, well, in the private lobby area, there was one side of the wall which I just filled up with wooden masks. There is one here which actually caught my eye. It's this one here. I absolutely adore this one, but I'm afraid it will have to remain on this wall instead of mine. Continuing on with my walk here in Jewtown in Mutton Cherry, well, there are actually lots and lots of handicrafts and antiquities shops, and I would expect that most of the products are reproduction anyway. It's a very difficult task for us mere travelers to tell what is a real antique and what is not. And if you're not an expert in antiquities, I would think that it's safer to go for a known reproduction instead. Come on, let's head to my next destination, and it's the Paradesi Synagogue. The first sight that greets you as you approach the Paradesi Synagogue is this 45-foot high clock tower. You can't see it from here, and unfortunately I'm filming using a DJI Pocket and this gadget can't do any zooming, but this clock tower actually has got its numerals written in Latin, Hebrew and Malayalam. This clock tower was constructed way back in the year of 1760 by one Ezekiel Rahabi. In 2004, the clock tower underwent restoration made possible by the World Monuments Fund. The strange thing is that this clock tower used to strike every hour up till about 1930s, and the restoration project didn't restore this particular function, and I wonder why. The structure here is what is known as the hanging bridge, and it's quite a common feature in the former houses of the Jews in Kochi. A hanging bridge is usually constructed to connect the homes of two Jewish families. If you were to walk around Fort Kochi, you will come across a similar structure, a hanging bridge connecting the houses of Samuel Corder and his sister Lily. I'm self-imposing a period of silence as I walk around this Paradesi Synagogue. Come and join me. Mic on, and I'm back, and this is such a wonderful piece of heritage complex, isn't it? No doubt the Paradesi Synagogue will always remain a part of the rich fabric of Kochi's history. Coming towards the end of my vlog here today in Jewtown in Mutton Cherry, Kochi. Well, I'm going to do a spot of shopping. Here I am in a spice shop, and I'm going to bring home a few random packets for friends. I'm Gobble Guzzle, and let's meet again on my next vlog. Until then, always be kind and spread the message of peace. Jumpa lagi. Bye-bye.